Hey everybody, Addie Gundry here again in the RecipeLion test kitchen, and today we are here to make something really fun, a everything bagel grilled cheese. So yes, you heard it right. Imagine your everything bagels that you get at the bagel store or the grocery store. We're taking that seasoning, we're going to show you how to make it, and then put it on top of a grilled cheese sandwich. It tastes basically like an everything bagel grilled cheese, and it's super easy to make. I have Jessica with me. You guys all remember Jessica? She's our amazing editor here at the RecipeLion Test Kitchen, and she's going to help answer some of your questions as we get started making the grilled cheese. So the first thing we're going to do is make the seasoning. So here's their end result. You'll see this really cool kind of bagel grilled cheese, and I'm going to show you how to do it, which is perfect for this weather. I don't know where you guys are, but if you're anywhere in the Midwest, it is cold and rainy and snowy. It's like everything you don't want it to be. So this is something that will make you nice and cozy at home. Okay, it's really simple. Let's have Tom show these ingredients. 5 ingredients. You have a 1/4 cup poppy seeds, 1/4 cup sesame seeds, 3 tablespoons of minced garlic and minced onion, 3 of each, and then about a tablespoon or more of sea salt, depending on how salty you want it. And all you're going to do is combine those 5 things. Now, what's cool about this is that this will last about a month, and so I'm actually making quite a bit. And again, I'm just going to pour it all in a bowl together. And the great thing about it is you can just add it to your spice drawer. So essentially, instead of going to buy this, you're making your very own spice mixture. I wish you guys were here. You could smell this garlic. It's just fantastic.
So can you use that on anything else? Could you put it on meat, for example, like a steak or something, or is that disgusting?
No, that's not disgusting. That's a great question. You sure can put it on anything. You could put it on, why not meat? Because essentially garlic and onions goes great on everything. I've even sprinkled this on some pasta before with like a little butter, like long buttered noodles with some of this, because yes, it reminds you of an everything bagel, but it really is just that minced onion, minced garlic, the sea salt. I think poppy seeds and sesame seeds, they really just add such a nice texture to things. So I would put it on whatever you want. And now look how much I have. You're really only going to use about a tablespoon for your grilled cheese, and you can have this for a while. That's kind of how that goes. So we've made this recipe. Now I'm going to show you how to make the perfect grilled cheese, but I'm going to tell you right now, this is live. This is risky because grilled cheese, it's actually more complicated than it looks. But the good thing is you really can't go wrong because it's bread and cheese and butter, and it will taste good. So you can watch me. Hopefully we get a perfectly golden brown one. But even if we don't, you'll see that, at home, sometimes they aren't as brown as you'd like, or they go a little over on the toasty side. That's also personal preference. But we're going to see if we can make a really good one live right now, okay? So all I'm using, I'm just going to do this right on the counter. I want to show you how you don't have to use an extra plate, so you don't make a mess. All right, we have 2 pieces of bread. This is just sourdough bread. And what I'm gonna do is spread a little butter right on the bread. This butter is obviously at room temperature because it's really easy to spread. You guys can do as much or as little as you want. I'm kind of loading up here. I'm gonna do it on this side because that will be the back. But we just want to kind of cover the bread. I almost think of it as protecting the bread. It's like you kind of seal it so it doesn't get scared or hurt in the pan, okay? So you have your 2 bread sides. And then I'm going to just use American cheese, just the singles. But of course you could use any cheese you want. I think Swiss would be good, provolone.
You mix your cheeses, do multiple cheeses.
I love that question.
Triple cheese.
Triple cheese, yes, you sure can. You definitely can, why not? So I'm doing 2 pieces like this. Now as you can see, we have butter on both sides. No butter with the cheese, just the cheese. The reason I do it on this paper towel is after I put it in the pan, I can just use the paper towel, clean my hands. There we go, okay? So, more butter, you guys, all right? More butter is coming. Our pan's pretty hot, and that's key. Did you see that? It's kind of sizzling already. You want to make sure your grilled cheese goes into a nice hot pan. I love how that looks and smells. Oh my gosh. All right, you might be thinking, where's the everything bagel seasoning? Don't you worry, it's coming. Okay, but one side's gonna cook. And that's really all you're gonna do. And you're gonna, before you flip it, you're gonna put a little seasoning on, flip it, and put some on top of the other side of the bread. And the reason you do it that way is because I made a few of these today. I didn't eat them all, don't worry. Someone else did, or helped me. But the reason you don't put the seasoning on right away is because, think about how you saute onions and garlic at home. If you do it too soon, it will actually burn. And so we don't want this obviously to burn. The seasonings will burn. Okay, so we're gonna just let this saute in its butter. What questions do we have?
Any tips for making a gluten-free grilled cheese? My gluten-free bread always falls apart when I cook it. That's from Kaylee.
You know, I think that's interesting. You certainly can make a gluten-free grilled cheese. I would say to help bind it together, I would put butter maybe on both sides of the bread. I think the butter, almost as you saw me, I said I protect the bread. You kind of would maybe seal that gluten-free bread. And who doesn't want more butter, right? So I would try the more butter angle. All right, you can always cheat and look under and see how it's doing. It's doing fine though. The key too is you don't want to burn the toast, but you have to make sure the cheese melts. So it's really just a grilled cheese is a true art form and culinary adventure. It's not as easy as it looks. Okay, it's looking really nice.
So Jenny would like to know, how do you know when it's ready to flip?
Well, I just looked under and checked it out a little bit, and it's looking great. You guys ready? You can kind of hear it sizzle. You're gonna take the whole thing and just try and slowly move it over and not hurt yourself. And then push it together if it kind of got uneven. And this is exactly when I'm gonna put my seasoning on top, which is so cool.
Is there anything you have to do to help the seasoning stick better on top? So you just pat it like that?
You pat it, or because of the butter in the bread, it's the butter and the little bread holes are sort of going to absorb it like that. Mm-hmm. And as you can see, you might be saying, well, you only did it on one side. Don't worry. I will flip it onto a plate. And when I flip it onto a plate, I'm then going to put the seasoning on the other side. The other thing, like I said, you just want to make sure that cheese is melted, which... Oh yeah, come in here. Can you get in here? I don't know if you can. But you see how that's kind of, look at that. Look at that goo, right? Okay, and watch, ready? We're gonna flip it again onto the plate. It's perfectly golden brown. And we're gonna sprinkle it just like that and pat it in, okay? Whew, I was nervous. We were gonna get a perfect one, but that looks pretty good to me. So now all I'm gonna do is slice it. And this is a big debate in my house. I don't know if it is in your house, but in my house, grilled cheese is always diagonal. Peanut butter and jelly is always like that. Same with deli sandwiches. I think every sandwich should be like that, and then grilled cheese should be a triangle. What do you guys think? Do you think it matters? Something about that. I just always imagine grilled cheese in a beautiful triangle like that.
Jenny wanted to know, it looked like the butter was already melted when you added it to the pan. Does it have to be melted beforehand, or could you just use softened butter? Or
I love that question because I forgot about that. You guys saw that when I was putting the butter on the bread, this was just room temp butter so I could spread it. The reason I had it melted before I put it in the pan was just to not let it take too much time. Basically, the pan was hot. I wanted to pour in melted butter versus you start with a cold pan, you heat it up, the butter melts. So there's really no reason other than that it's a little faster way to do it if you have your butter prepared. It's almost like when you make pancakes or something. You could put in a little tablespoon of butter and let it melt and then add your pancake batter, or you can just be ready with the melted butter. Another little quick cooking tip about that though is when your butter starts to melt, you know sometimes you put a piece of butter on a pan and it melts really quickly and then all of a sudden it's kind of brown quickly? This way, your pan is hot, you put your butter in and it's almost like it's ready to go. You don't have to worry about burning that butter, so to say. If that makes sense.
Nancy said, so if you don't cook the seasoning in, doesn't it fall off when you're eating it?
It doesn't. Look. Okay, ready? I put it all in here. You guys always make me break my diet. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is so good. A little messy though. But that's it. What other questions do we have?
So Tyler wanted to know, could you give it another flip before taking it off so that one side seasoning gets cooked a little?
Sure. That's a great, yeah. The thing is, you can't really do this wrong. Is the only thing you can really mess up is if the seasoning burns, because that onion and garlic will taste bitter. But you could have totally flipped it, let it sit for 20 seconds, 30 seconds, added more seasoning, flipped it again. I mean, if you're kind of in the flipping mood, you could do that, and that would be fine, because either way it works. But the key is just make sure that cheese is melted, and it is delicious.
Jenny says that she also always dips her grilled cheese sandwiches in ketchup. Wants to know if that's weird. I guess it's similar to tomato soup, so
I don't know. That's
not
probably
that bad.
not as weird as, I mean, I've never done that, but I dip French fries in ketchup, and I don't know, cheesy French fries, okay, or tomato soup. You could even, one cool thing, which I should have thought about, we could have done maybe cream cheese in the middle. I don't know how, because then it would be like an everything bagel cream cheese sandwich, so maybe that's another thing we could try. I'd probably dip this in ketchup or ranch. I love everything in ranch dressing. But let us know, a couple of things. Let us know if you've made any wacky grilled cheese flavors at home, what your favorite grilled cheese is. Do you cut it on the bias or the square? I'm really, really, really interested in that one. What else?
Jenny also wanted to know if you could put the seasoning inside the sandwich with the
sure.
cheese, or if that's...
Why not? I mean, load it up, because you know what? I'm going to pull this apart just so you can see. It would definitely be protected in there. It wouldn't burn. It would probably, and even when it comes off, you could probably just go like, ooh, look at that. More seasoning.
What other sort of ingredients would you put inside? So I know you could probably put bacon, maybe tomatoes.
Actually, as to say, back to the ketchup question, a lot of people eat grilled cheese with tomatoes inside, so it's kind of similar to dipping it in ketchup. I'd go tomatoes. You could also, if you're real crazy like me, you could fry an egg and put it on top, because that's sort of a good way to eat a grilled cheese. That would then be eating it like, you know, with a fork and a knife. But you could do that. Bacon for sure. Even ham or something. It's almost like it becomes an everything bagel panini essentially. If you wanted to add some ham and cheese in there, your options are endless.
Scott commented, I always cut grilled cheese diagonally. That's what separates us from the animals.
Oh, Scott! Okay, love that passion about your diagonal cut. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who
else?
Then Kaylee wanted to know if you have a favorite tomato soup recipe to make with grilled cheese.
That's a good question. I do have a favorite tomato soup recipe. We actually have a soup cookbook coming out March 13th, so thank you for asking. And we could probably find a way to direct you to that link.
I mean, we can get the recipe up on the site. I don't think it is right now.
It's not right now, no.
But we can get it up on the site. But if you take a peek at our cover for the soup book, the tomato soup is actually featured right on the cover.
I wish I had one to show you, but it's coming out really soon, March 13th, 12th, something like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nancy said adding ham and cream cheese sounds good to me.
That does sound good. Because you know what also I love about grilled cheese is I really am convinced it's a breakfast, lunch, and dinner food. Because what is this? Toast and cheese. So you definitely can eat this in the morning, definitely lunch and dinner. So I think adding a little like ham and cream cheese makes it kind of a breakfast sandwich, like a bagel.
We also have a recommendation to add the everything seasoning on avocado toast.
Ooh, that is a really good idea. I eat an avocado every day, so I love that. Now look at all my seasonings. So you see how much you have left? It's awesome. And it's relatively inexpensive. I think, you know, minced garlic and onions are pretty inexpensive. You have salt at home. The only thing you may have to go buy are sesame seeds and poppy seeds, but you can find those at any grocery store around you. So there you go. Thanks so much for tuning in this week.
Yeah.
Next week, we're going to be back Thursday at 2 p.m. Again, we'd love to hear from you. What do you want to see? What do you want to learn? We just love being here live with you and hope you enjoy our RecipeLion Test Kitchen. See you next time.